Hey everybody, welcome back. If you are listening to that beautiful piano notes on top of some bopping acoustic guitar rhythms, that can only mean one thing.
It is time for another episode of the Mannschrecks, a commentary on Christian life and culture from a pastor's wife and her sidekick.
That's me.
I am your best host, Sarah Mannschreck.
You can't say it without laughing. And I'm that other host, JJ Mannschreck. Oh, it is just so, again, I feel like I've done this for like the last 3 episodes. It's like, man, it is just so good to be in this place where we take a break from all those things in life that have a point, and we just enjoy hanging out and chatting. And let's see, I wanted to say, it's just like we've been gearing up for VBS. We got VBS this week, or well, when this comes out, the VBS will be concluded. And so it's just been a lot of preparation and a lot of stuff going on, and so it is a perfect week to take a break.
Oh, yeah. From the decorating and the chaos.
All right, so I do want to talk real quick before we jump into the news desk about a development of 2 different people on Twitter suggesting that we bring on some guest hosts.
Oh, dear.
Would that be a fun thing, or is this just for you and me? Is this like our
that could be fun. It depends on what we're talking about, though. But yeah, that could be cool.
I was thinking if we were going to have a guest host, what we would do is say, okay, you have to bring a sponsor of your life, and you have to bring a news story to tell us about, and then you have to play a game with us.
Yeah, I think playing a game would be essential.
Right? Like whatever we do, like they have to come on, and if you're gonna come on,
Absolutely.
you got to play games with us.
Yep.
We're gonna do playlist puzzles, or maybe the new game that we're gonna introduce later today. I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, I think I'll reach out to those folks and say, hey, yeah, why don't you come on? Why don't you be a guest host? But
could be interesting.
Here's what you got to do. So, all right, well, watch out because we're coming for you. You can't.
We're coming for you. Don't get too excited.
We really don't have like a podcast that has a format for like interviews, right? We're not like interviewing authors for their new book, or we're interviewing, whoever for their new whatever. We're just here hanging out.
Yes, we're all very official over here. Whoever with their whatever. With their, yeah.
I don't know. And they're like, that's how you get your platform to grow. And it's like, yeah, we don't care.
I don't. I fully do not expect to grow at all.
No, we're here to have fun. And I think people have enjoyed it. With the feedback we have received, people like the nothing. They like the, this is just fun. I take my break.
And
I had some friends say that I garden while I listen to the podcast, or while I'm driving, I love to listen to it. This is a place where we take a break from all those things that have a point. All right, you ready to approach the news deck?
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Why don't you?
Now, this story, feel free to
is the greatest story you have ever heard of, and you're so excited to bring it to.
No, actually, this story, honestly, overall just makes me kind of sad. But, okay, so this is, now I also feel I have to have an addendum here, because I'm sure there's probably some cultural things that are difficult to understand when you're coming from this story. This isn't a story that you have. So it's like
a disclaimer. It doesn't sound familiar so far.
So a couple from India is longing for a grandchild. They're longing for a grandchild, so they are suing their son and his wife.
I think I've heard stories of similar.
It says a retired Indian couple is suing their son and daughter-in-law, demanding that they produce a grandchild within a year or pay them 50 million rupees, which is the equivalent of $675,000.
$600,000. They're suing their son and daughter-in-law.
Their lawsuit. They met with their lawyer in India on Thursday, May 12th, and they set. They are demanding in court. Yes, this is fresh, and demanding in court that their son and daughter-in-law produce a grandchild within the year, or they will pay them 50 million rupees. This is an emotional and sensitive issue for them, and they cannot wait any longer because their son has been married for 6 years.
That's not that long.
It's not that
6
long.
years. We were married for quite a while before we had kids.
We were married for
5 years?
5 years, I think, before we had Liam.
Which was intentional. Like, we were in grad school when we first got married. We were just not financially in a place where we could really provide for a family. And so once I had a career and we had a house and a place to live,
I'm sure there's a lot more going on that
culturally,
that might be quite different. But the man says that we want a grandson or a granddaughter within a year because they've spent their entire life's earnings on their son's education. So their son owes them a grandchild. It says that he spent 3.5 million rupees, which is about $47,000, on his son's pilot training in the U.S.
Okay.
So the issue is that at this age, they need to have a grandchild. But my children have an attitude like they don't care or think about us. So we got married in the hopes that we would someday have the pleasure of becoming grandparents. We got him married in the hope that we would have the pleasure of becoming grandparents.
We got him married? Was she not?
And it's been 6 years. And despite having everything, we have nothing.
I don't know. And I don't want to like... I guess I'm wondering, is there like a financial component to having grandkids in India? Like, do you miss out on money or something?
I'm trying to it says that their hearing was scheduled and the son and daughter-in-law were not able to be reached for comment, and according to this article, and that's it. I have so many questions about that. Yeah, I would love to know more, but it sounds... I can't imagine like our parents coming to us and saying, you need to have a child or we're going to sue you.
Where's the legal precedence there?
Yeah, I guess that's where I have a hard time.
Beyond the fact that it just is socially absurd. Yeah. Like what law are you appealing to that say, like, and I don't know, this is my ignorance of Indian culture. I do understand that in many Asian cultures, like the passing on of family, this is not just like grandma wants a grandbaby. This is like, yeah, this is carrying on legacy, dynasty, all this stuff. But I just like, what law could there be? You know, especially if like you said you went to school like in the U.S., right? Do they live
to be a pilot
in the U.S. now?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say anything about the son and daughter-in-law. It just says that they've been married for 6 years and that the son went to pilot school in the U.S. But it's very clear, like this is a very important thing, and they've waited 6 years, and now they're going to sue if they don't have a grandchild.
Man, that just doesn't. Okay, so there is, I do think, even in America, there is a definite shifting cultural dynamic where young couples are either not interested in having kids at all, or they want to wait a good long time. They want to do some stuff first. And our culture in America, we have reinforced that stereotypically, like in sitcoms, like, oh no, once you have kids, your life is over and all the fun stops. And so, yeah, there's big pressure for young people to be like, no, we're gonna have all the fun first and then maybe we'll do the kid thing. And that's not been our experience at all. Our life has gotten more fun with every kid we've added.
Been like enjoyable, but that was absolutely our choice. That wasn't something that we felt we had to do because we owed it to our families or anything like that. That was a choice.
Our families were very happy. They were like, oh yay.
Yeah.
But nobody was like,
you better get us grandkids or else.
I don't even remember. I mean, we waited, like we said, we waited a long time. I don't even remember pressure from either side. Like, where are those grandbabies? They were kind of understanding, like, y'all are in school, you're not making enough.
Well, we were establishing ourselves in our careers and stuff too, even, so. 6
years. I mean, if he what did he go to? He went to school to be a pilot. It doesn't sound like he's that old. Like, if he's not even 30 yet, like the normal age, well, but in Indian culture, it must be different. I'm guessing maybe they get married younger.
I'm not sure. I don't know how.
We spent all this money on his education. I guess I could see.
The dad is 61.
Jeez, that's not that old. That, like, his kids are probably 25, 20, maybe 30.
Well, I mean, think about how old our parents are.
Yeah, our parents are,
early 60s. So, probably around our age, maybe, if they had.
Interesting, yeah.
But it's just very interesting.
Suing your kid, I guess I could understand.
It's a bold move.
Well, and it's interesting because once your kid's over 18, right, that you don't technically have any of that like legal responsibility. But if you pay for your kid's education, are you allowed to make a claim on their life?
Well, but here's the part where I have a problem with it. Like, truly, is like that's a lot of negative emotional baggage now that you're attaching to that. So
that's very true.
Even if we did have a kid within a year and that were the situation, I'm sorry, but this is a huge problem. I mean, I know it's a cultural difference, but
that's true. Yeah.
I don't think I want my kid to be around you if this is the connotations that you've created. It is a forced thing, and it's like it's not it just doesn't quite feel like a genuine connection anymore. It's like, we have to have a grandkid or else, and then you have the kid and it's like, now you owe us, like what?
Well, and I wonder, I feel like I want to go look into it a little bit, because what is the cultural dynamic of grandkids in India? Because in America, it's like, they're so cute and I get to go to their soccer games. You know, there's not like I don't know what the cultural expectation, what is the benefit of grandkids in India?
I have to learn more. I feel
is it a bigger benefit than, you know, because like there are some cultures where like marrying the right person or setting up, like, it can change your whole family's life, you know? In America, not so much, right? Yeah. Like, kids are, you know, I don't know, grandkids are like this thing that a lot of people want, and they definitely pressure their kids. We have friends who have chosen like not to have kids or to hold off on having kids, and their parents are going bonkers. They're like, well, yeah, where's my grandbabies? But it never would approach anything like legal
I'm gonna sue you if you don't. Yeah, I can't imagine. That's the thing, like that kind of thing, it just wouldn't even, it would be laughed at in our culture. Like,
well, it is a little bit.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
I do.
It's, that's a whole nother can of worms that, no.
That's messy. That's messy.
Very messy.
Yeah. And let's say, I mean, when
Mom and Dad, tell me the story of what it was like before I was born. Well, Grandma and Grandpa gave us an ultimatum, and we decided to go with having you, because otherwise we were going to have a $700,000 plus legal fees. That's so romantic. Thanks, Dad.
Well, and that's the problem here is, like, win or lose, everybody loses, right? They win this lawsuit, they lose this lawsuit. Yeah. Like, you've either are forcing your kid,
created that awful divide between you and your kid, or
like you win this lawsuit and your kid pays you hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's an estranged relationship forever, right? You win the lawsuit and your kid has a grandchild, and the grandchild's going to grow up with an estranged relationship forever. Or you lose the lawsuit, you get nothing, and you have an estranged relationship forever.
And you have to pay all those legal fees.
Yep, win or lose. This is a everybody loses sort of situation. It's a very bad idea on the part of the parents. I understand being disappointed in your kid's life choices or whatever, but it is your child's life choices. You know, once they become adults, you really can't force your children to be the way you want them to be. Oh my gosh. That's not how it works. Yep. That's a fascinating story, but yeah, definitely.
There's some cultural layers there that we need to unpack and find.
But
so let's hear your story.
My story is
it's a little bit more lighthearted, maybe.
Upbeat and lighthearted, except no, it's not. It's terrible. Dear. I also have a terrible story. All right, so woman in $400,000 GoFundMe scam gets 1 year in a federal case.
Okay, what was the scam?
So in Camden, New Jersey, so GoFundMe, let's back up, a little bit. GoFundMe is like this free open source donation website where you throw up your story and you say, I'm raising towards this goal. Here's what my thing is.
Yeah, a lot of people do it for medical things.
Yeah, a lot of people do it for medical things, but you can also do it for like startups, or just, hey, I want to build a bakery. Or I think there was one guy who was like, I want to build the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And he was like, he did a GoFundMe for like $10 and he raised like thousands of dollars, and it was really weird.
That's so weird.
Like, you can kind of do anything you want, and people choose to give or don't. And it's really, it's a source of a lot of like heartfelt stories, right? And so there are lots and lots and lots of stories of like a homeless person who does something nice, and somebody sets up a GoFundMe for that person, and then that person makes, a ton of money. They end up getting really supported by the community. Problem is that has become popular enough that people have started to copycat it and scam off of it. Jeez. And so Camden, New Jersey, this is an AP article, a woman who admitted to her role in a scam that raised $400,000 using a fake story about a homeless man received a year in prison sentence in federal court on Thursday. Her name is Caitlin McClure. She was also ordered to make restitution and serve 3 years of supervised release. So basically, McClure and her boyfriend at the time, doesn't sound like they're together anymore, Mark, they fabricated a story about a homeless veteran, Johnny Bobbitt Jr., which sounds like a cartoon.
That name sounds fake already.
Johnny Bobbitt Jr. giving. So the story was that she ran out of gas on a Philadelphia highway in 2017. Johnny Bobbitt Jr. was a homeless man who gave her $20. In truth, the state and federal prosecutors said that the group had met near a Philadelphia casino in October, shortly before they told their story. They publicized the story through local and national media interviews, and they created a GoFundMe account that more than 14,000 people donated to. thinking that the money was to help Bobbitt, according to prosecutors. Law enforcement began investigating after Bobbitt sued the couple, accusing them of not giving him the money. So they made up this story of, I broke down on the highway and a homeless man gave me $20. I've set up a GoFundMe for the homeless man. Will you give to this wonderful Good Samaritan who took care of me? And they raised $400,000 off of that story. The reality was the three of them met outside of a casino, and her and her boyfriend put up they were like, all right, we'll put this story up. They raised all the money, and then they didn't give it to the guy at all. And he got cut out of the scam. So then he sued them.
Wow.
And so they investigated. D'Amico, the boyfriend, described as the group's ringleader, pleaded guilty to federal charges, and he was sentenced back in April. Looks like he's going away for 2.5 years.
Wow.
He was also ordered to make restitution and is scheduled for sentencing. Bobbitt, the quote-unquote homeless man, is sentenced to 5 years probation in 2019 and is facing sentencing.
Wow.
Just fascinating.
That makes you sad because, like, I already have somewhat of a distrust of people when they're, given their fund me story and all this stuff, but that just is a whole new level of...
Well, and I deal with this a lot as a pastor, right? We have a fund at our church that's designed to help people with electric bills or utility. And always, we kind of have to deal with, okay, are you scamming the system? Because sometimes people come in with genuine needs, and obviously we want to help people. That's what the whole fund is about. People donate, and we keep none of it, right? That fund money comes in, and I give it away. And I give it away almost as fast as it comes in. We get requests all the time. And what's frustrating to me is that I want to make sure... Because I have a lot more requests than I have money, right? I often have to tell people, I'm so sorry, the account is empty right now. And so I really want to make sure that the money we send out goes to someone who's actually in need. And so we do minimal background research. We do phone calls and checks, and just to make sure someone's story is true. We do a couple of reference checks, whatever we can do. I talk to a lot of landlords, just sort of, hey, is this a true story? Is this person regular in their payments? Did they do this a lot? Just sort of a minimal interview. And but the GoFundMe world, there's so much need out there. And yet it's like, I don't know. It really shakes my trust in a system.
It's sad that we should be so skeptical, but apparently in this situation, with good reason.
Well, and it's funny because we have friends who have utilized GoFundMe. There was a friend of ours who also goes to our church, and she set up a GoFundMe for a family that was in need. And I know the people in need. Like, it was such a genuine story. She posted it on social media. I think they needed to raise like 10 grand, right? And it was it was awesome to be a part of that. And hundreds of people were given to this family. I was like, all right, this is really cool. And so it just really, it's like there's such potential for good when we crowdsource fundraising for people in need.
Yep.
But in every system, scammers got to get in there and find their way to hurt people.
Unfortunately, that does exist.
I thought it was an interesting story. It made me a little sad. These are bummer stories. What
Sorry.
on earth?
I know. It was just the type of...
All right, next week, we got to go back to the classics. You remember, the 3 best types of strange news stories.
Animals.
Animal stories, food stories, and world record stories. So we got to get back in the wheelhouse next week.
We need to find one about a dog that catches the most stale tortillas.
Yes, for the Guinness Book of World Records, and then eats them in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, all right. You ready for Sponsor Your Life?
Sure. All right, so Sponsor My Life this week has got to be the dollar store, in all honesty. We've been buying lots of supplies for VBS. I've been decorating and doing tons of planning. Like a fiend.
The church has been transformed into a jungle.
It has. Week. It's crazy. But the dollar store has been very handy in supplying the exorbitant amount of tablecloths that I've used for decorating every single inch of the
That's awesome. I love
the church. So this has been very handy.
Yeah, and it looks great. You did a lot of hard work, and I know the Christian Education Director and some other volunteers, they put in a lot of time. and I love it. They did such a great job, and very creative, very crafty, and it's amazing what you can do with a couple bucks in a dollar store.
Well, and let it be known that those dollars actually add up when they're not actually a dollar anymore, because the $1.25 or whatever it is for things.
Man, that's how they get you. Get you in with that
dollar.
dollar.
Extra quarter just really...
It does.
Yeah. But anyways, yes, again, thank you, Dollar Store, for being... ish a dollar.
A dollar-ish. Now, what dollar? Because I feel like there's a bajillion dollar stores. What's the one you actually
The
go
Dollar
to?
Tree.
Oh, it's called Dollar Tree.
Mm-hmm. That's one that actually did raise their prices to $1.25. I did not go to the Dollar General because they did not have the stuff that I wanted in stock.
Okay, so Dollar Tree is better. Okay.
Yeah, because Dollar General is like, we're generally a dollar, but generally could be anywhere between 1 and 25.
That's sneaky. It's like Five Below charging $5.55, and it's like
I know their stuff is all $5.55 now.
Nope.
It's like it's ridiculous, but.
We're really revealing our usage of the low dollar stores in the last couple episodes.
I'm not, I'm picky.
We don't get any real sponsorship. That's why we're anyways. All right, so mine's kind of an odd one. So I had a pastor's breakfast this past week. All the local pastors were getting together to talk about a thing, and it was hosted at a church I hadn't been to, and their hospitality team put out, and we were doing a brunch, right? It was a 10 a.m. meeting, and they were like, we're gonna have breakfast, and they had these casseroles, and they had like the danishes and the fruit bowl and like the little cinnamon rolls and all that, but they also had the classic egg casserole, and so that item is sponsoring my life today, because they put 3 of them out, and I was like, this is such a classic church potluck thing to do. You always have the 3 casseroles, right? There's the heavy on the meat one, there's the heavy on the cheese one, and then there's the one that has vegetables in it, and that one gets skipped, and it just
that's the one I go through first.
So I went, and I was like not that hungry. I had breakfast, and I was like, well, I'll just go and I'll just pick a little bit, and it was like, nope, I got big scoops of everything. It was
I'm
delicious.
not that hungry, so you'll be having 1 or 2 pieces. I'll take 3.
I'll take 1 of each. Yeah, so just the classic egg casserole potluck church item that is sponsoring my life because it's so delicious. Just church potlucks
really
in
is.
general. I'm just feeling. I love church potlucks, and that is definitely sponsoring my life. All right, you ready for our game?
I am, yes.
All right, so for the very first time ever, we are introducing a brand new game. This game is called, it's not a brand new game. This game exists out in the world. It's called 5-Second Summary. The way this works is, and this is a thing that like talk shows do, and like late night shows and whatnot.
Okay.
But what you do is you have a story in a hat. We have like a whole bunch of little slips of paper in the hat, and we pull it out, and you have 5 seconds to describe it, and you can't say the title or the character's names. You have to describe.
And you said we couldn't say the book of the Bible that it's in,
right? So we're gonna do Bible stories. In other places, they've done like movies and TV shows and that kind of thing.
Okay.
We are gonna do Bible story 5-second summary. You pull it out of the hat, and you have 5 seconds to convey the story to the other person, and they have to guess it in 5 seconds.
I'm nervous.
I actually think 5 seconds is gonna be a long time.
I don't know. It might be hard because some of these might be kind of tricky, and we might need like more than 5 seconds. But we'll try this.
Okay. So I now have the timer set for 5 seconds.
First, you want me to go first?
No, I'm shuffling, and I'm shuffling the bag or the hat full of.
There's a lot of paper in there.
There's a lot of Bible stories out there.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Go for it.
All right.
Go.
Male and female eat inaccessible fruit.
Down. That's Adam and Eve. Eat garden, right?
Yep.
Whew, you barely made that.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's okay. All right, that was fun. Okay, go ahead. Christmas.
The birth of Jesus?
Boom. Yes.
That sound was very.
One
I
word.
know. I was a little too wordy.
That one was a little too
All right.
easy.
Okay, you take it, and we'll.
All right.
We'll go.
All right. Now I'm ready. Now we're cooking.
Okay.
Cooking with grease.
Your hair is pretty greasy. Okay.
Ready? Go.
Talking animal.
Balaam prophet donkey thing. Yeah.
Donkey thingy.
I think we're a little too good at this.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Go. Oh. Main guy donkey into city. Really?
I don't remember.
Shoot.
Oh man, that makes
Main guy, donkey into city.
Oh, Jesus' entry into Jerusalem?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were piggybacking off the last story, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of the city he was trying to go to.
the talking donkey.
Oh, that's terrible. I thought this was what you were going off of. And...
No. Main guy. I felt like main guy was pretty good code for Jesus, right?
Main guy. You couldn't just say Christ.
Nope. Well, I feel like that's cheating.
Okay.
I know it's not technically his last name, but a little bit it's his last name, right? Like,
his last name.
That's
first
right.
name Jesus, last name Christ. Okay.
Okay, Michael Scott.
Okay, Michael. All right.
You ready?
Yes.
Go.
Bread and wine poured out for you.
Communion. Story. The Last Supper. Yeah?
Communion. Yes, you are correct, but it is the Last Supper.
Noise.
It really is. Okay. So how many is that for each of us? Do you want to do each do one more?
Oh, should we like keep track? I'm not actually.
Oh, no, I just meant how many have we each tried to tell to one another?
I don't know. We've only done a couple.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Oh, am I pushing the start button this time? Okay.
There you go. Oh, the lady loses her money. Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
You're a little nervous, I guess.
I'm just very. I got. Well, because it's not fair. It had all three parables on there, right? So if I say lady lost her money,
yeah,
right? So lady of the coin, but it also had the sheep and the thing, and I was like, well, which one?
The sheep and
the 99. Corey Asbury song. That's my clue to you.
The woman with the coin and the sheep and the thing with the thing.
What's the other one? The kingdom of mustard seed. The mustard seed is the third one, right? Kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed.
Okay, you're really good with parables.
I will say, I think this game is probably really tough for listeners to follow because we are jumping through the Bible like light speed. You know, like if you're not a Christian and you're like listening in on us, so we're like reading these Bible stories and we're giving you like
we literally just have the title or the description of the Bible story, I guess.
Yeah, so we have in the hat the title of the story, and we have to give generic. We can't say the character's name or the book of the Bible, and so we're trying to get the other person to say it. But it's like, I think that's really hard for people to follow because it's only 5 seconds. Like it's. I think it's enough time. We usually, I've been getting them. You've been getting them. But all right, let's try a few more.
Okay, is it my turn or your turn?
It's my turn to do this thing, so it's your turn to do.
Okay,
that thing.
all right.
Ready? Okay, ready? Go.
Yes. A person looks out and sees many, many dried body parts. Body parts?
The dry bones. Ezekiel and the dry bones.
Yeah. Dried body parts. It didn't sound right as it came out of my mouth.
The Valley of the Dry Bones.
It's exactly what it is. But
yep.
I almost said his name, then I was like, I can't say his name.
Here's what we should probably do. We should do the story and then like briefly tell the story because it's not enough. There's like little, so it's like okay, that's the part where Ezekiel. Is it Elijah? No, it's Ezekiel.
It's Ezekiel.
He goes out into the valley and he's like, look at all these goofy bones. And God's like, here, look. And he like resurrects them for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, if you want a really good version of that, look at the Kids Action Bible, which the boys found. And Liam could not stop talking about.
All right. Ready?
Go.
Famous guy with a super long name. That was bad.
If you hadn't said 3 times, you probably could have cut out like 3 seconds.
It's hard.
What was the story though?
With the
famous guy with long last name.
I was so stuck on his name. Prideful man loses mind, acts like animal.
Nebuchadnezzar?
Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, and that's the whole bit where he's on the roof and he's like, look at how amazing I am. And God's like, you are going to go pretend to be a cow over there in the pasture for
it's such a weird
it's
story.
Like a year, right? Yeah, that is a weird.
The Old Testament is so weird.
There's so much goofy stuff.
So is the New Testament, but
I mean, there's so much wisdom and a lot to learn about the character of God. But yeah, a lot of it's super weird.
Very. Go ahead.
Yeah, my turn.
Okay.
I failed that one. That was not a good one. And go.
Very, very famous king.
Solomon.
No, Dad.
Very, very famous king. Jesus.
I didn't even.
The wise men.
It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
But I can't stop laughing. So it's King David?
Yeah.
And all I got from you in 5 seconds was very, very famous. Oh, that's very helpful. Nothing about slinging stones or giants.
It was his death. Okay.
Oh.
I'm not good at this game.
But it's fun.
I'm really tired. Okay.
All right. Ready?
I resemble that. Okay,
You do resemble that.
I'm very, very famous.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Tongues of fire in a closed room.
Oh, it's the
Third part of the Trinity. Come on.
Yeah. I know. I'm so flustered by that last one.
Yeah.
Okay. It was the Holy Spirit coming on Pentecost.
There you go. Pentecost. That's the story.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yep. And for those who don't know, the disciples were in the room and the doors were closed, and suddenly there was a loud rushing wind.
Yeah,
and
everybody
then
knows that story.
it is a pretty famous story.
Okay, so it's my turn to tell.
It's me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I promise I won't use famous king.
Famous king. Very helpful. All right, go.
Oh no, hold
Nope,
on.
just
Sorry.
kidding. All right. Okay, go.
Large cats don't eat man.
Oh, Daniel and the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
Large cats had me for a second. I was like, what?
Don't you remember that story in the Bible with the really large
cats? I was literally, that was.
Yeah, sorry.
That was special. I liked it.
That's special.
I like that usage of the words.
Thanks. Okay, your turn.
All right, ready?
Yep.
And go. Smallest brother is the one you want.
Oh, David.
Yeah.
King David. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Smallest brother is the one you want. That Samuel, he comes in and he's like, I want this king. And God's like, no, you don't. You don't want that brother.
That's just that one that's out in the field with the.
And Jesse's
with the
like,
sheep.
how about this other brother and this other brother? Yeah. All right. That's a good. I love that story. Being a less impressive physical specimen than some of my larger people in my life.
Are you saying that you think you're like royalty? Is that what you think?
That's it right there. No.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm ready. Go.
Oh, I think
Ooh, that was very helpful.
I had to think about the story first. I was trying.
Oh, I think that's all I got.
Shut up.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Very, very smart man.
That's almost as good as very, very famous king.
Famous king's son.
That would have been
It was
helpful.
the famous king's son.
I think I knew King Solomon, but which story? Is he cutting babies in half?
No, well, yeah, he's very wisdomous, but I can't use the word wisdom because that was.
Oh, but that was it was the story of Solomon wisdom.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a famous king's son.
Very, very smart king.
Another famous king. a really snappy famous king.
Snappy, I like that. Snappy dresser. Is that which king is known for that? All right, final one. Ready?
Yeah.
And go. Oh. Nope. Sorry, I gotta start over.
You make fun of me.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay. Mary and Martha's buddy. Oh, I can't say the
Lazarus.
character's name. Shoot, I got it.
It's not even his buddy. It's their brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Lazarus was a brother?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that.
Wasn't he?
Probably. You know the Bible better than I do.
You shouldn't admit that as a pastor.
I think when people realize that you are like far more important than I am, you know, like you know more than I do. You're so much more valuable. Yeah, just don't tell the truth. All right, ready?
Yes.
Competition between prophets on a mountain named after candy.
Oh, Elijah?
Yes.
Oh, Mark Carmel.
Yes. Right? You like that clue? Named after candy?
Named after candy. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Thanks for not using the part where they like cut themselves to make themselves bleed as they danced around.
Gross.
Like sadly around that mountain. Whew.
Yeah, and then Elijah starts mocking them. There's a whole... He was not like the nicest of guys. Like... He was an interesting fellow.
Yes, he
Elijah.
was. Mm-hmm. Yes, he was.
All right. Well, thanks everybody so much for hanging out. If you appreciate our goofy little podcast, go ahead and hit like, subscribe on Spotify, mash that 5 stars. If you're over on Apple, leave us a review, a written review. Tell us how wonderful we are, or not so wonderful. That's okay too. It does break our hearts a little bit though. No, apparently it affects the algorithm if you guys leave reviews, so that would be just amazing and very, very helpful.
And thanks so much to MusicTown for the use of our theme song. Don't forget to check us out on social media. I think there's a Facebook page, Instagram, and a Twitter account.
Sure is. All right, you ready to send us out with the mom joke of the week?
So what kind of shoes do ninjas wear?
What? Ninjas. Slippers.
Sneakers.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.